Welcome to the Contracts for Difference Seal Bid Guidance video for Allocation Round 5, produced by the EMR Delivery Body. The information in this video has been published on the EMR Delivery Body portal in the CfD Allocation Round 5 section. This is also where you can find other guidance videos and documents to support you with any of the delivery body processes for Allocation Round 5. Please use this as a resource for your preparations in the upcoming allocation round. This guidance video will detail the end-to-end process of how to submit and edit the sealed bids for your project on the EMR Delivery Body portal. The video will cover the applicable rules and regulations to be aware of, a look at the core parameters and the budget notice for Allocation Round 5, an overview of the sealed bid submission process, a system demonstration on the EMR Delivery Body portal, and finally, we will address the key validation rules that are applied to sealed bids. Applicants are advised to review the allocation rules and regulations, as well as the delivery partner guidance documents. Details are provided on the screen to where applicants can view the original parameters and rules concerning sealed bid submission and withdrawal in the final allocation framework, which has been published for this round. The key rules to make you aware of in the allocation framework are rules 10 to 13. The information on the core parameters notification was used to support the creation of this video. The core parameters notification was published on the 14th of December 2022. The data on this notification includes the relevant technologies, pot structure, delivery years, and admin strike prices which are applicable for Allocation Round 5. The admin strike prices are stated in 2012 values and are the maximum strike price that each technology can be awarded a CfD contract at. The Department for Energy Security Net Zero also published the budget notice for Allocation Round 5 on the 16th of March 2023. Table 1 in the budget notice sets out the CfD budget in monetary terms for both technology groups for the 5th allocation round. The available budget for this allocation round has been allocated to 2 technology pots and is presented by the delivery year. The figures given are the total available for applications bidding into any delivery year in this allocation round. All the values on the budget notice are stated in 2011-12 values. So Pot 1 has a monetary pot budget of 170 million. This is for the projects which have the relevant delivery year of 2025-26, 2026-27, or 2027-28. Pot 2 has a monetary pot budget of 35 million, and this is for projects which the relevant delivery year is 2026-27 or 2027-28. Inclusive of Pot 2, there is a minimum of 10 million which will be applied in respect of tidal stream. The minimum will be applied on a monetary budget basis and will operate as a hard constraint. The minimum allows projects of tidal stream, totaling up to 10 million, first access to the total Pot 2 budget of 35 million, protected from competition from other technologies. However, if the budget assigned to the minimum is not fully used, any remaining budget will be available to all technologies, including those subject to the minimum, in the general Pot 2 auction. On the Allocation Round 5 budget notice, there are no capacity caps, there are no soft constraints, and no maxima will be applied. Importantly to note, pursuant to Regulation 12 of the Contracts for Difference Allocation Regulations 2014, the Secretary of State retains the option of increasing the budget following the commencement of the allocation round via a budget revision notice. Now moving on to an overview of the seal bid process that the delivery body manages. Where an auction is necessary, the delivery body will firstly issue a notice of auction to all qualifying and pending applicants, inviting them to submit sealed bids. Applicants will then be able to submit sealed bids during the specified window as stated on the notice of auction. The window for submitting sealed bids will close at 5 p.m. on the final day of the submission window. Sealed bids are to be submitted using the EMR Delivery Body portal, the same portal to which the application was submitted into. Applicants can withdraw bids and resubmit bids during and up until the end of the sealed bid submission window. Applicants can vary the capacity, target commissioning date, target commissioning window start date, and strike price of each sealed bid. The strike price bid should be entered in 2012 values. If no sealed bid form has been submitted, or if all sealed bids are withdrawn and not resubmitted by an applicant by the end of the sealed bid submission window closing date, the delivery body will then assign the applicant a single default bid. This single default bid will contain the target dates and capacity as specified in the original application, along with the relevant admin strike price for that technology. Now we will demonstrate how to submit sealed bids into the EMR delivery body portal. This functionality will only become active in the system once and if the sealed bid window opens for the round. The system demonstration will cover how to submit a sealed bid for an application with a single phase, and then how to submit a sealed bid for an application which has multiple phases. When you're notified that the sealed bid submission window has opened, proceed to log into the portal using your username, password, and PIN. Once logged into the portal, the user will land on the My EMR page and should then select Sealed Bids from the allocation section. At this stage, it's important to note that this is a test environment and may look slightly different to the live environment that you will use during the allocation round. So let's select Sealed Bids. Select your application from the My Application drop-down menu and then select Create Sealed Bid Form. Find the created application and then select Edit on the Sealed Bid form. This will take you into the form where you can see your original application values in the top table. These values include the company name, pot name, technology type, name of CfD unit, target dates, capacity, and the relevant admin strike price. These details will be used if you do not submit any customized sealed bids and do not withdraw your application during the sealed bid submission window. When you scroll down on the page, you can see the flexible bid section. This is where you'll be able to add your first sealed bid. Select Add Sealed Bid to proceed. A new sealed bid window will be generated, allowing you to add your required details to the sealed bid form. The table will be auto-populated with your original application values, and at this stage you have the opportunity to alter the strike price, capacity, target commissioning window start date, and target commissioning date. For the strike price, the value must be equal to or lower than the ASP for the relevant technology. The ASP for remote island wind is £53 per megawatt hour, and the lowest strike price bid in each delivery year must be expressed to 2 decimal places, and the highest price bid for each delivery year must be expressed to 3 decimal places. In this example, we will enter £41 per megawatt hour. The next item is the capacity, and the capacity should be less than or equal to the capacity stated on the application form. This should also be to 2 decimal points. We will keep this one the same at 150 megawatts. Applicants may submit up to 4 flexible bids, of which no more than 2 bids may have a target commissioning window start date in the same delivery year. Again, for this example, we will keep the sealed bid target dates the same as the original application. Once you have completed amending the details for your bid, press Save. The sealed bid will appear in the flexible bids table with a unique sealed bid ID. In the action column, you can edit the sealed bid by pressing the Edit button, or you can remove the sealed bid by pressing the cross button. There is also an additional column which identifies which bid is the lowest strike price bid for the delivery year. We will now add another sealed bid, and we'll select the Add Sealed Bid button again. When adding additional sealed bids, there are multiple criteria that needs to be met. The full list of validation rules will be covered at the end of this video and are also published in the guidance document, as well as the allocation framework for allocation round 5. Only one sealed bid can have the same target dates and capacity as specified in the original application. And each sealed bid must have a different combination of strike price, capacity, and/or target dates. This bid will be the flexible bid for the project delivery year, and it will be at a higher strike price than the first bid, so will need to be expressed to 3 decimal places. In this example, we will add the following details. Once you have completed the bid, press Save. Again, this bid will now show in the flexible bid section with a unique seal bid ID. Once you have added all of your seal bids, and this can be up to a maximum of 4 seal bids, then select the Submit button and select Yes. The Submit button is at the top of the screen. Validation messages may pop up if the system determines there to be errors on the forms. Review these errors on the seal bid form. In this example, the validation error messages are regarding a strike price being greater than the ASP value for the technology, the capacity being greater than the capacity value as stated on the application form, and the target commissioning date is before the target commissioning date that was stated on the application form. Each validation error will state which of the seal bid IDs is affected, allowing the user to edit the form and resubmit. Errors can be corrected by using the Update button in the Action column. For this seal bid, the TCD for bid 2 is earlier than stated on the application form. We can correct this and press Save. We will now correct the 2 remaining bids which had validation errors. This bid had a strike price higher than the ASP. And on this bid, the capacity was higher than stated on the original application. Once the validation errors have been fixed, scroll back up to the top of the page and press the Submit button, and then press Yes. The system will continue to check if there are any validation errors remaining. In this example, there's still one validation error remaining. Go back down to the relevant bid and then update the value on the particular bid and press Save. Then press Submit. A bid form will be generated to notify the user that the bids have been successfully submitted. At this point, system-generated notifications will also be sent to applicants via email and on the portal. Please check that you have received these to ensure your bids have been successfully submitted. This demo of a single-phase project is applicable to all single-phase technologies. The differences to take into consideration are the admin strike price for your technology and the delivery years applicable to the pot your project will be competing in. Now the seal bid has been submitted, you can navigate back to the My EMR homepage. For clarity, this guidance video will now demonstrate how to submit seal bids for a multiple phase type of project. There are some slight differences for this type of application, but this will largely be a repeat of the previous section. So starting on the My EMR page, select seal bids. Select your application from the application drop-down menu and then select Create Seal Bid Form. A pop-up will notify the user of this action. Next, find the application and press Edit on the seal bid form to go into the seal bid form. You can see your original application values in the top table, and this will also include the target dates and capacities for each phase of your application. When you scroll down on the page, you can see the flexible bid section, and this is where you'll be able to add your seal bid. Select Add Seal Bid to proceed. A new seal bid window will be generated for you to add a seal bid. This differs from a single phase project, and you will be presented with boxes for each of the phases. The table will be auto-populated with your original application values for each phase. At this stage, you can alter the strike price, capacity, target commissioning window start date, and target commissioning date for each phase. But please note the strike price is applied to each phase of the project. Let's now enter the data into our first bid. The strike price entered must be at or below the admin strike price. In this case, the admin strike price for offshore wind is £44 per megawatt hour. In this example, we will enter £40 and 1 pence. Now enter or amend the remaining details for the project: the capacity, target commissioning window start date, and target dates. In this example, we will keep all of the details the same as specified on the original application. Once you're happy with the bid details, press Save. The seal bid we just entered will appear in the flexible bids table and be assigned a unique seal bid ID. Again, in the action column, you can edit the seal bid by selecting either the Update button or delete the bid by pressing the cross. We will now select Add Seal Bid to add another seal bid. At this stage, it's important to note that all of the rules for single phase projects are applicable to the first phase of a multiple phase project. There are several additional validation rules that are applicable to only phased offshore wind projects, which we will demonstrate now. The validation tips for multiple phase seal bids are: the seal bid must include a singular strike price that should apply to all phases. You can see that the system will only allow you to enter one strike price on each of the seal bid forms. Capacity: the total capacity of all phases in each seal bid cannot exceed 1500 megawatts, or the total capacity of the application that's specified at the application stage. The capacity of the first phase must represent at least 25% of the total capacity of the CfD unit. Moving on to the target dates. No phase of a phase project can have earlier target dates than the target dates of the first phase, as stated in the original application. Therefore, as you can see here, phase 2 and phase 3 cannot be earlier than the details stated in phase 1. You are able to click into each of the target date fields to update the date. Once you've completed amending the details for your bid, press Save. Again, this will enter the seal bid into the flexible bids form. And now you can see the two seal bids that you have entered. The full list of validation rules for multiple phase projects will be referenced at the end of this guidance video and have been published on the EMR portal in the guidance document for allocation round 5 and are also shown in the allocation framework. In this example, we have added 2 additional bids to the seal bid form. Once you have added all of your seal bids, and this can be up to a maximum of 4 seal bids, press the Submit button and then press Yes. If validation errors occur, review the validation error comments, go back into the relevant bid using the Update button to correct the validation error. Let's now review the validation errors that are shown. In bid 4, the strike price that we entered breaches the limit of £44 per megawatt hour for that technology type and delivery year. Therefore, we will need to correct this to a lower or equal to the admin strike price. The next validation error shown is for the capacity of phase 1 being less than the minimum allowed proportional value of 25% of all phases. We will need to go back into the sealed bid form and review the capacity that's entered into the first phase. Also on this bid, the target commissioning date that's entered into phase 3 is later than 2 years after the target commissioning date of the first phase. Again, we will need to go back into the sealed bid form, correct the value, and then resubmit. Scrolling down to the flexible bid section, we can go into bid 4 and update the value for the strike price bid, ensuring it is lower than the ASP. Once you are happy, press save. The next bid we need to update is the third bid. This had two errors on it, one being the capacity of the first phase being less than 25% of the total capacity, and the target commissioning date of the final phase was more than 2 years after the first phase. So we will go back in and review the capacity element of the first phase. We've updated this value now. Now we will look at the target commissioning date. We can go back in and update this value. And once we're happy with the value, we will press save. Once the validation errors have been cleared, select Submit, and a bid form will notify the user that bids have been successfully submitted, or if there are any remaining validation errors. In this instance, all validation errors were cleared and the bid was successfully submitted. The status is now showing as submitted. You will receive email notifications and notifications on the portal stating the seal bid has been submitted. Please always check that the submission has gone through and you are happy with the values you have entered. Examples of the notifications that applicants will receive on the submission of their sealed bids are shown in the sealed bid submission guidance document. This includes an email example and an example that the portal will show you. Now navigate back to My Applications to go back to the sealed bid landing page. On the sealed bid landing page, you can see all of your actions against your company's sealed bids and the status being submitted, withdrawn, or saved. Choose a sealed bid and scroll across to the side and then view the status. If you are required to edit your sealed bid post-submission, you will need to navigate back to the application and select the sealed bid page, and then find the sealed bid and select Withdraw Sealed Bid on the relevant bid. This will take you into the sealed bid window where you can select Withdraw Sealed Bid. You can submit and withdraw sealed bids as many times as you want within the sealed bid submission window. But it is important to note that you will need to ensure the sealed bid has been submitted before the window closing date. Once you have submitted your sealed bids and the sealed bid window closes, the delivery body will use the sealed bid information in the auction. This information is not shared with applicants during the round. If applicants do not submit a sealed bid in the sealed bid window, then the system will generate a singular sealed bid based on the information submitted at the point of application submission. This is known as a default bid. Applicants who do not submit any sealed bids will be assigned a single bid using the admin strike price, target dates, and capacity as specified in the original application. As applicants can submit and withdraw sealed bids during the window, it is imperative that applicants ensure that all bids are in the correct status, either submitted, withdrawn, with the view of a default bid being submitted, or the application withdrawn altogether in good time before the application submission window closes. Applicants are also able to withdraw their application during the sealed bid window. You can do this by selecting Withdraw Application from the application menu. Navigate to Applications, find the application in question, and then select the Withdraw button. The information on screen will state what happens when you withdraw the application. When an application is withdrawn, the status cannot be reversed by the delivery body. This is the end of the system demonstration. We will now continue to look at the validation rules applied to sealed bids. We did show some of the validation rules that are applied to sealed bids in the examples, but the guidance document and video will demonstrate the remaining validation rules. We will now move on to review the various validation rules that are assigned to the submission of sealed bids. These validation rules will be detailed in the next section of the guidance video and are split into 4 sections: general, strike price, capacity, and target dates. These validation rules for the submission of sealed bids can also be found in the allocation framework for allocation round 5. Firstly, we will look at the general category for the sealed bid validation rules. All applications must meet the following general validation rules. Firstly, applicants can submit a maximum of 4 sealed bids and up to 2 bids for the same delivery year. Applicants may only submit a maximum of 2 sealed bids where the target commissioning window start date of the original application is in the final delivery year. Applicants may withdraw and resubmit sealed bids during the sealed bid submission window. Only one sealed bid can have the same target dates and capacity as specified in the original application. Each sealed bid must have a different combination of strike price, capacity, and/or target dates. And applicants who do not submit any sealed bids will be assigned a single bid using the admin strike price, the target dates, and the capacity as specified in the original application. There are some additional rules for multiple phase offshore wind projects, and these are: all phases are considered when assessing the budget impact against the budget profile, and the number of phases submitted for each sealed bid must match the number of phases as specified in the original application. We will now look at the sealed bid validation rules associated to the strike price element. For all applications, the strike price in each sealed bid must be in £sterling in 2012 prices. The lowest strike price bid in each delivery year must be expressed to the nearest whole penny, and all flexible bids in each delivery year must be to 1/10 of a penny or 3 decimal places. The strike price of each sealed bid cannot exceed the relevant administrative strike price as stated in the final statutory documents published for the allocation round 5. There are additional rules for multiple phase offshore wind projects, and these are that a sealed bid must include a strike price that shall apply to all phases. This was covered in the system demo, and there is only one field for applicants to enter the strike price. The administrative strike price cap for the strike price for each sealed bid applies from the target dates of the first phase. We will now move on to look at the sealed bid validation rules for the capacity element of the bid. For all applications, the capacity for each sealed bid cannot exceed the capacity of the original application. Where the technology type of any given CfD unit must have a capacity greater than 5 megawatts, sealed bids cannot be submitted below this threshold. Further information on this can be found in the allocation framework. There are also some additional rules applied to multiple phase offshore wind projects for the capacity element. Firstly, the total capacity of all phases in each sealed bid cannot be greater than 1500 megawatts. The total capacity of all phases in each sealed bid cannot exceed the total capacity as stated in the original application form. For each sealed bid, the capacity of phase 1 cannot be greater than the capacity of phase 1 of the original application form. The capacity of the first phase must also represent at least 25% of the total capacity of the CfD unit. And finally, the capacity of each phase must be greater than 5 megawatts. The final category of the sealed bid validation rules that we will look at will be the target dates. For all applications, the target dates cannot be earlier than the target dates as specified in the original application. The target commissioning date for each sealed bid must fall within the target commissioning window. The target commissioning date for each sealed bid cannot fall outside of the applicable delivery years stated for the applicable POP. Each target commissioning window start date must fall in one of the relevant delivery years. There can be a maximum of 2 target commissioning window start dates per delivery year. The target commissioning window for each sealed bid is set at 1 year. Solar PV and landfill gas CfD units have a shorter target commissioning window, and this is stated in the allocation framework for the 5th allocation round, and please refer to this document for more details on this point. There are additional rules again for multiple phase offshore wind projects, and these are that the target dates of the first phase will be treated as the target dates of the project. Each additional phase cannot have an earlier target date than the first phase. The target commissioning date of the final phase can be no later than 2 years after the target commissioning date of the first phase. The target commissioning date of each phase must be covered by the target commissioning window for that phase. The target commissioning window start date for phases 2 and 3 can be placed in either delivery or valuation year, with the latest possible date being the 31st of March 2030, as long as the other validation rules are met. The first phase target commissioning date must be targeted to complete by no later than the 31st of March 2028, which is the final delivery year for the POP. No later phase of a phase project can be earlier than the target dates of the first phase as stated in the original application. This brings us to the end of the sealed bid guidance video for allocation round 5. Please use this as a resource to assist you with the readiness for the allocation round. Please also refer to the published documentation for the round. This includes the Contracts for Difference allocation regulations as amended and the round-specific allocation framework, as well as the CfD guidance published by the EMR delivery body.